Guys, today I came up with a new concept for how the pickaxe works in Fortnite. And if you're a Fortnite noob, then you probably don't want to watch this video. You might as well click off right now, because I'm going into some like pretty like high level, high detail stuff to try to make the game a little bit better and a little bit more fair, especially for higher ping players. But it can be a little bit confusing, especially because the way I explain this is very interesting. I ended up using Microsoft Paint. But yeah, like I said, if you're a noob or you don't really play Fortnite at a higher level, this is not the video for you. But if you are, stick around and let's have a discussion about this. Maybe this could be a very interesting concept that could make the game more fair. You would have to allow for the pickaxe animation to be canceled slightly before it finishes, like just slightly, and it would still count as a hit. That way the player with higher ping can like just be ready to put the wall down at the exact time that the wall breaks, because right now you have to time it, right? But the higher your ping is, the more or the less forgiving the timing is. So as a result, the timing would be more consistent if there was a slight animation cancel from the pickaxe swing. Yeah, I could probably explain it better with using some Microsoft Paint. Let me do that real quick after this match. Who knows? Who knows? You never know. Maybe somebody will see it and be like, wait, that's a good idea. Dang, bro. You just got hit with the AR spray. That early game was laggy as hell. I don't know what was going on. Coming up with an excuse every time. I mean, you've got to give credit, bro. The fact that I can come up with an excuse for every single death is amazing. I do want to say there's a difference between excuses and complaining. I think some people can't tell the difference. An excuse would be, oh my God, bro. Like there was the sun was in my eyes. Dorito chips on my mouse pad. Like that's an excuse. I think I do more complaining than excuses. It's more like, oh my God, bro. I didn't take his wall. I fucking hate ping dependent wall taking. I wish it was different. GG's. That's me complaining, but not excusing the outcome of the fight. Because I did say GG's, like I lost. GG's. It was a good game. But I'm upset that I tried to take his wall and the wall showed up as mine for a second, but then turned to his, and that's annoying. And honestly, a lot of it is just because I overanalyze everything. But that's how I am all the time. Like with every game I play, I analyze everything. How things work, how things function. Low-key, I feel like the Slurp Bazooka, people don't really talk about it too much, but I feel like the Slurp Bazooka, not that it's overpowered, it is very powerful, but the way you get it is completely random. So there's no like power play that you can make for the Slurp Bazooka, which is why I always get a little annoyed when I fight somebody like in a solo arena and they have the Slurp Bazooka. I'm like, oh, you got lucky because you found a llama. So you have a Slurp Bazooka, which gives you an advantage in this fight. But what if the Slurp Bazookas were like, there was like special supply drops that were marked as like Slurp Bazooka supply drops, and 5 of them would spawn every game, or 3 of them, or however many they want. It would still be like a randomness aspect because they could spawn far away from you, but you would know where it is. And players would have to fight and earn the bazooka to an extent. Does that make sense? Because at least at that point, I'd be like, okay, this guy went for it, so that's why he has the Slurp Bazooka. Where usually it feels usually like, okay, this guy got lucky that he found a llama and he has a Slurp Bazooka. This is a tough fight. I messed up, bro. I messed up big time. What the hell? I didn't even realize I was landing on his box. Let me show you guys what I mean by like making wall taking more consistent. This would be such a good change in my opinion. I'm gonna pull up the Microsoft Paint. Let's make this pretty with some PNG. Because here's the thing, 50-50 right now is in the game. But the problem is that in order to trigger it, you have to time your pickaxe swing with the wall breaking and then place your build at the same time within a certain time frame. The problem is the higher your ping, the less forgiving the swing is. And here is the major issue. I know it's confusing. It's gonna all make sense here. Actually, we're also gonna hop in creative. We're also gonna hop in game. It's gonna be beautiful. That's the current pickaxe mechanic, and then I am going to draw a line down the middle. New pickaxe concept. Don't use big words. Don't worry. Okay, so right now, wall taking. In order to take somebody's wall who's actively holding it, you have to break their wall and quickly place a build immediately after breaking their wall. You got to do it fast. And if you do it fast enough, a coin flip will trigger, assuming there was already a wall there, right? If you're just going off of piece control, like if two players try to build a wall at the same time, the one with lower ping will always build it first. That's just how it works. That's expected. Gaming is ping dependent, but wall taking doesn't have to be. If you hit the wall and break it and you're fast and you place a build that as soon as you break it, you'll trigger a coin flip and there's going to be a 50% chance for you to take their wall. That exists in the game. But how come players with higher ping feel like they have to try to take the wall 10 times and they feel like their wall gets taken first try every time? Because of all the extra factors that go into it. So there's a few things where things mess up. Pickaxe swing has to be 100% completion for the pickaxe to actually do damage. If you do 99% of the swing and then you try to place the wall, this will happen. You see how I'm going through almost the entire swing, but then I try to place a wall a little too early. And as a result, you can see the contact with the wall, but you're not actually doing damage to the wall because the pickaxe swing has to go all the way through to do damage to the wall. There's the first issue, because the higher your ping is, the more unreliable it is to swap to your builds fast. If you have like, I have 30 ping right now, which is not even that high, but if you had like 60 ping or 70 ping, you have to make sure that you are actually swinging all the way through, then placing your build. And then you add the delay of waiting to make sure the hit happens, the delay of actually pulling out your builds and placing the build. And all of a sudden, you're not replacing it fast enough to trigger the 50-50 coin flip. And that's what's happening, is like if you try to take the wall 10 times in a row, most likely you're not triggering coin flip 10 times in a row. Most likely what's happening is your timing is just slightly off, whether that's you are actually slow and you're not doing it fast enough mechanically, like you're slow, or because of all the extra ping variables of having to wait till you make contact with the wall and then pulling out your builds, initiating the place, all that extra variable adds a little bit of time, and it makes it impossible to trigger the coin flip reliably. Whereas zero ping players, the timing is more forgiving. So what is my proposition? Currently, in order to get a pickaxe swing, you have to fully swing your pickaxe all the way to break the wall. Here is where you swap to the wall. Like at the very end, you try to place your own wall. And this is causing issues for higher ping players. Whereas the proposed method, and this actually used to be in the game. Real quick. So in season 1, you used to be able to swing your pickaxe halfway and then swap to your gun, and the swing will complete. And what this did is this allowed you to do this thing called fast farming. Look at this clip. You can partially swing your pickaxe and then swap to your gun and then back to your pickaxe, and it would still hit the wall. It would still do damage. So you could farm really fast. We don't want that to happen, obviously. Epic didn't like that. So what they did is they forced you to go through the whole animation before you can cancel it. My proposition would be to find a sweet spot where you can't farm faster, but what could happen is you can do 85% of the swing. Then you stop almost all the way through. Like you would be allowed, there would be a little bit of forgiveness, a little bit of wiggle room where you go 85% of the way, you stop, and then you start trying to place your wall. The wall would not break any faster. The wall would still break at the same time in the first example. You would just have like milliseconds more forgiveness to actually start placing the wall. And what that would do is that would allow higher ping players to more reliably trigger coin flip without ping screwing them over. In this scenario, you start placing the wall right here. And then in this scenario, you start placing it over here. And I think coin flip would be more reliable in this scenario, and it would happen more often. It's a horrible idea, just admit it. What's the horrible idea? I don't understand. I'm asking for the ability to slightly cancel the pickaxe animation before it actually completes and still do damage to the wall, allowing you to start placing the wall sooner, which shouldn't affect anybody, except it should allow people with higher ping to still trigger coin flip more consistently. What about the zero ping players? So nothing would really change for the zero ping players. They would still be able to do this or that. It would just allow players with higher ping to trigger coin flip more often. So they would still be able to do it more reliably than you, but at least this gives you more chances. It would definitely make things more even. I gotta say this masterpiece.